Hello everyone and welcome. First, I'm very sorry for the watermark. Currently I do not have the resources for removing the watermark. Let's ignore it. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that many of us grapple with, perhaps without even realizing its profound impact on our lives. We're taught from a young age that kindness is a virtue, a cornerstone of a good life and strong relationships. And it is. But there's a shadow side, a tipping point where this beautiful quality can begin to work against us, subtly eroding our well-being. Have you ever felt drained, taken for granted, or even resentful, despite always trying to be the nice one? Have you found yourself sacrificing your own needs, your own peace, to accommodate others, only to feel emptier in return? It's about recognizing when our innate desire to be good to others crosses a line into self-neglect and ultimately self-destruction. Being kind is good, right? But what if I told you, being too kind could destroy your confidence, your relationships, even your life? This is not a motivational speech, this is a wake-up call. We're here to explore this paradox, to understand how overkindness can become a trap, and most importantly, how to reclaim your power and practice kindness in a way that honors both others and yourself. Let's begin this journey together. Many of us, myself included, were raised with the beautiful intention of being polite, of being helpful, of being respectful. These are wonderful qualities, the bedrock of a compassionate society. We were taught to share, to put others first, to be accommodating, but here's where the path can take a difficult turn. Somewhere along the line, in our earnest desire to embody these virtues, we may have forgotten a crucial element, the inherent value of our own time, our own energy, our own emotions. We forgot that these are precious, finite resources. When you consistently offer your time without considering your own schedule or your emotional energy without checking in with your own reserves, what message are you sending? Not just to others, but to yourself. It's a subtle, unconscious signal that your needs are secondary, that your limits are negotiable, or worse, non-existent. This isn't the kindness that uplifts, it's a kindness that slowly, almost imperceptibly, starts to drain the wellspring of your own vitality. It's a kindness that, without the guardrails of personal boundaries, begins to feel less like a choice and more like an obligation. And this is where kindness without limits can transform into a form of self-imposed slavery. You might think you're being the nice guy or the kind girl, the one everyone can count on. But I want you to ask yourself honestly, how does it truly feel? Is it a feeling of joyful giving, or is it a feeling of being perpetually stretched, of being a resource that's constantly tapped? Respect comes from strength, not surrender. This isn't about becoming unkind or selfish, it's about understanding that true, sustainable kindness, the kind that genuinely enriches both the giver and the receiver, must be rooted in self-respect. So how do you know if you've crossed that line from healthy kindness into the territory of being too nice for your own good? It's not always obvious, especially when your intentions are pure. But there are definite signs, subtle cues in your behavior and your internal state that can act as warning bells. The first and perhaps most common is consistently saying yes when every fiber of your being is screaming no. You feel that internal resistance, that voice whispering that you're overcommitted or uncomfortable, but the word yes tumbles out anyway, almost automatically. Another clear indicator is when you find yourself apologizing for things that aren't even your fault. Someone bumps into you and you say sorry. A misunderstanding occurs that you had no part in creating, yet you're the one trying to smooth things over with an apology. This habit often stems from a deep-seated desire to avoid any form of conflict or disapproval, even if it means taking undue responsibility. It's a sign that you're prioritizing others' comfort far above your own sense of fairness and truth. Then there's the heavy burden of feeling responsible for other people's moods and emotions. If someone around you is unhappy, do you immediately internalize it, wondering what you did wrong or what you can do to fix it? When you're constantly in a state of overgiving, of prioritizing everyone else's needs above your own, there's an inevitable consequence, a hidden cost that accumulates over time. You keep pouring from your cup, your time, your energy, your emotional support. You show up for others, you listen, you help, you accommodate. You are the reliable one, the ever-present source of support. But then, a day comes when your own cup is empty. A day when you're the one who needs support, who needs a listening ear, who needs someone to show up for you. And what often happens in that moment? Silence. Emptiness. You reach out, you look around, and the very people you've consistently supported might not be there, or not in the way you need them to be. Why does this happen? It's a painful realization, but often it's because, through your actions, you've inadvertently trained them that your needs always come last, or perhaps, that you don't have any significant needs at all. This isn't necessarily because people are intentionally malicious or ungrateful. Sometimes it's simply because you've created a dynamic where your role is the giver and theirs is the receiver. You haven't modeled that reciprocity is expected or that your well-being is also a priority. You've been so capable, so self-sufficient in your giving, that it might not even occur to them that you too have moments of vulnerability, moments when you need to be cared for. The pattern of your overkindness has set an unconscious precedent, and deep down a slow burn begins. So, we've identified the problem, we've seen the signs, and we understand the heavy costs of overkindness. The crucial question now is, what do you do about it? How do you recalibrate your approach to kindness so that it empowers both you and others, rather than depleting you? The answer lies in learning to be kind without becoming a doormat, and this begins with the courageous act of setting boundaries. This is where your transformation truly starts. Setting boundaries means understanding that no is a complete sentence. It doesn't require a lengthy explanation, an apology, or a justification. Learning to say no without guilt is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It's not about being unhelpful or uncaring. It's about recognizing your limits and honoring them. When you say no to something that would overextend you or compromise your well-being, you are in fact saying yes to yourself, to your peace, and to your ability to offer genuine help when you truly can. Next, you must consciously decide to prioritize self-respect over the fleeting desire to be liked by everyone. This can be a challenging shift, especially if you've spent a lifetime seeking validation through agreeableness. But true respect, both from yourself and from others, is earned not by being endlessly accommodating, but by demonstrating that you value yourself. When you respect your own time, energy, and emotional space, others are more likely to respect them too. This isn't about arrogance, it's about authentic self-worth. This doesn't mean you stop helping people, of course not. The goal is to shift from helping out of obligation or fear of disapproval, fear of conflict, fear of not being seen as nice, to helping when it genuinely feels right, when it aligns with your values, and when you have the capacity to do so without resentment. We've journeyed through the complexities of kindness today, from understanding its potential pitfalls to discovering how to wield it with wisdom and self-respect. It's clear that the path of overkindness, while often paved with the best intentions, can lead us to places of exhaustion, resentment, and a diminished sense of self. But the good news is that this is not a fixed state. You have the power to redefine your relationship with kindness, to transform it from a source of depletion into a source of strength and genuine connection. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about building walls. It's about defining the space where you can thrive, so you can then offer your best self to the world. Prioritizing your well-being isn't selfish, it's the foundation upon which sustainable generosity is built. It's about understanding that your energy is precious, and you get to choose how and with whom you share it. This journey is about shifting from being passively nice to being actively, consciously, and authentically kind to others, and just as importantly, to yourself. You were not born to be everyone's emotional punching bag. You were born to be respected, not used. Be kind, but don't be blind. Embrace this truth. Let it guide your interactions and your choices. Your worth is inherent, not dependent on how much you give or how much you sacrifice. So this is the end. Thank you for staying till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also do comment below your opinion.